So we were talking about ground covers, and we don't use a lot of traditional, what you think of as ground covers, like ajugas and things like that, which are mat forming ground covers. We do have some creeping times that kind of come into the pathways, and veronicas, but a lot of our perennials are maybe low mounding perennials, and they work as ground covers because their leaves come out and cover the soil, but not they're not mat forming, so you can get combinations of plants. So for example, here I've got Geranium renardii, Philippe Vapel, beautiful flowers on it, beautiful felting foliage, and then there's a little, actually this is an annual larkspur delphinium, and it's just kind of popping up beside it. So it's filling in the space, it's covering the soil, and at the same time we're getting flowers and some beautiful foliage contrast.
The textures are incredible.
Yeah,
And that's a good point, because this is pretty much a spring and early summer garden. There's not a lot by end of July. There's not a whole lot to look at
not a lot of flowers.
except foliage. And so we have quite deliberately tried plants with lovely foliage and that give us texture and color and so you've got bluey foliage there, you've got spiky foliage there, a little bit of upright from the clematis. Even the peony foliage is beautiful. And we also, because we have the elms, elm leaves are not very big, so we don't rake leaves except to pile them from the paths onto the beds. And by now, I mean, this was all elm leaves 3 weeks ago, and the worms pulled them all down.
Yep.
And if you've got poplar, that you have to shred it or something because they mat down and it's not great.
They don't break down very easily, but that's the beauty of the elm. That was the other reason to find a property that had elm trees, because I knew that elm leaves dry up very fast and they just crumble. So they're just great for the soil.
The only downside of the elms is elm seeds, which are now covering the ground like a golden carpet,
Anyway, yeah.
and they're all going to sprout.
Yes.
So they're-
No,
yes.
Well, then we have to pull them out by clumps.
Yeah.
We have a. I'm not sure he's around. We had a little newly resident baby jackrabbit that's been here for the last couple of weeks,
Helping himself.
and so far he doesn't seem to be eating the plants, but he's been eating the seeds.
Yeah.
Interesting. Higher protein, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
So
Probably.
he just sits there, and I can get like a foot away from him, just looks up and then nibbles away. So I'm not sure I want him that habituated.